think I just said in my speech, for the sector, it doesn't feel like the crisis is over. And now with a new conflict in the Middle East and energy prices spiking, could be a very challenging winter for the global sector. In the UK, the things that we've asked for from the Chancellor in the autumn statement are clarity over our investment. We need to do something about the UK auctions, having not delivered offshore wind in the last round. We need a much friendlier fiscal environment for inward investments. That's things like capital allowances. We would like to see targeted bill support for households this winter. We think we've got 9 million people who will struggle to pay their bills. And the industry is also undertaking work with the regulator to do more on vulnerability this winter.
Quite recently, we have noticed some changes in the net zero policy from the government. What's the Energy UK's reaction to all these changes?
Our first take on the announcements is that we are worried that it will make people's bills harder to pay, particularly the vulnerable. That's because really the biggest significant change made was to private rental standards. 1 in 4 people living in private rental are in fuel poverty. So we're worried that the cuts to energy efficiency measures there, even if landlords will benefit. And similarly, rolling back the 2030 target for electric vehicles might not change the overall industry, but it will probably delay the second-hand market. And again, poorer households are the ones that might benefit from that. There were some good things in the Prime Minister's speech, spatial planning for grid, I mean, my favourite topic. And so, it's in some ways amazing to see a leader of a political party, a Prime Minister, talking about spatial planning in energy. We welcome that. The biggest message we had for government is it is an incredibly competitive time for inward investment. And the UK's headlines are read by international investors. And so pitching the net zero transition as hair shirt, as challenging, as difficult, talking about heat pumps as very expensive or complex to install, even if you're then increasing the heat pump grant, the overall framing of this transition, which we think is going to be exciting, beneficial and help grow the economy, was problematic because we're worried it will deter investors.